Let's go, Ozabel. Where's your
Oh, that's a nice guy. Okay.
Can we have the president? Once again.
and the assistant?
And the assistant. So we have the president and advisors. So, what we have happening, there's been a terrorist attack. You already know of this, obviously. Your advisors let you know the general idea of what's happened, correct?
Yes.
So what we need to do, we need to form a plan here. This committee, we're going to come together. We're going to help you make the best plan for yourself, obviously. We have your best concerns at heart. And we want to make sure the United States has the best things that happen to it. So without further questions, we have, right now, the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State, who are you?
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. Hillary would like to advise you, President, what is happening. So we need to make sure that Hillary is able to have full speech, that Hillary is not cut off or interrupted at any time. And at this point, Ms. Clinton, what would you like the President to be aware of?
Well, we want to make sure that we protect the United States' national interest and keep peace and security and sustainable development.
What do you need the President to do specifically?
Mrs. President, we want to create ties with Saudi Arabia and Yemen, and we want to convince you that troops are not needed in those countries just yet, and we want to especially create stronger ties with Yemen, and we want to travel to Saudi Arabia and Yemen and watch them do investigation on terrorist attacks in the countries.
Advisors, feel free to advise the President real quick on what they think that should happen here. They're saying that we should go to Saudi Arabia and we should make friends and be peaceful and not have a direct attack back.
Just have a discussion, or do we
Go
have to say what
ahead.
we're
You can
saying?
have it out loud or quiet. It's up to you. You're the advisors. So you prepare with your question next. You'll be next to have an opportunity to speak. And Secretary of Defense. So you're going to be a little bit different than them, I believe. Your plan?
Does the press have any questions for the group that just presented? You're good at this time? Okay.
So, Ms. President, what would you like to say?
Well, am I going to hear from everyone?
You are, but you can address their idea first, or you can wait. It's up to you.
Well, we like your idea, but we're a little concerned about how we're going to establish good communication and good ties with Yemen with purely just talking with them, because I think that strategy hasn't always worked in the past. So.
Okay, so thank you for your time. We have next, we have the Secretary of Defense. Secretary of Defense, what do you believe the President needs to know about this attack and what needs to be done?
Who are they?
Secretary of Defense?
Their name.
Is a person. What's your name, Secretary of Defense? Aneta.
We want to send in about 2,000 troops that's to investigate and not to start a war.
So we have 10,000 going in, and they're going to investigate but not start a war. We're just to send troops in. So again, advisors, you can discuss this. President, if you'd like to address it now, you may. Otherwise, we can move on to the next speaker so you can get some more ideas.
Well, how are we going to pay for 10,000 troops to be sent over there?
We'd like to know how we're going to pay and how we're going to be able to afford that.
Justify that to the American people.
And how will we justify to the American people? Okay, so, press, again, do you have any questions? They want to send in 10,000 troops.
Can I be the media? So what happens if we send in troops and it backfires?
We'll have Yemen and Saudi Arabia have troops to check out their own guns.
We're going to have faith in Yemen and Saudi Arabia. We'll have them use their own troops as well as ours to check out their own areas. So, can we see a problem there? That's a problem? Yes? Okay. Go ahead. So again, what do you see, Mr. President? Does it sound like a good plan? Sound like something that should work?
I'm
Not convinced
not
yet.
convinced. I think
President is not convinced.
Yeah.
Maybe some facts from the FBI will help out. So FBI, who are you? Who is the director of the FBI?
Robert Mueller, current director.
Not to be convinced or confused with Mulder from X-Files. Keep going. Show's too old. No one knows what I'm talking
So
about.
basically, your background information is that the leader now that we, wait, is this before or after we killed him last?
This is after.
Okay, so now their leader is, I don't know how to say this, but Ayman al-Zawahiri.
Why?
whatever. And they're stationed in Saudi Arabia and Yemen, and there are about 500 to 1,000 operatives. And their plan is basically to turn everyone against us and cause us to fail. And they have bombs, and they pretty much instill fear in a lot of people. And stuff like that.
So maybe that facts information can help. Keep going.
So in order to track down who these people are, I'm pretty sure the platform they escaped on, before the gas got out everywhere, there has to be cameras filming what's going on down there. So we have to get the tapes so we can see who ran out quicker than everybody else. And because it also stated that they ran out before the gas was able to escape, they ran out quicker. So the gas isn't everywhere, so we can't see who they are. So we should get cameras and tighten security around the area so they can't get as far away as they can. So should we tighten the security around the place?
I think tightening security is a good idea. You said you wanted to like check the cameras to see. Well, I question whether that would work. Whether you would actually be able to tell who it was and how we would find those people.
It's worth a shot.
I mean, yeah,
It's worth to see
it
who
is-
it is.
We could, yeah. I think it's worth a shot.
Want to announce who you are real quick? Do you have another idea to add in?
I'm Secretary of State, and I just wanted to state that the 5 people were already caught. So
5 of them, but not all of them.
Not all
So
of
some
them.
of them, but not all of them. Yeah, we caught 5, so maybe we can use some with them. Go ahead. Have you spoken yet? Go ahead. Who are you real quick?
I'm a Republican in the House of Representatives, and I would just like to ask, why would tightening security have anything to do with anything at this point? Like, if it's already happened, do we need tight security? Because I just feel like it's a waste of money.
So that is directed to the Secretary of State or the President? Okay, FBI. Okay.
If we tighten the security around the area, we can stop them quicker from attacking more public places. Well, they might do it. We don't know what they're going to do, but it's worth to try to stop
And
them.
do we know where they're going to get next? Okay, well, there's a lot of them. That's a lot of money.
President, have you heard enough of this?
Yes, I've heard that.
That's enough. CIA, what information can you offer?
CIA, obviously, and we're General David Petraeus. And pretty much what we need to do is put military pressure on Yemen by surrounding put military pressure by surrounding Yemen and Saudi Arabia but not actually engaging in war, because that would like follow in with the Al-Qaeda's 5-point plan to cripple us, and we need to watch all of the UMA, which is the Islam community, so that we don't be attacked by rebel forces. And we also need to infiltrate and gain information on Al-Qaeda secretly and find where their leader is.
There's several different steps. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
agree with that last point because I think that works way more than trying to like wage a traditional war. It's like, let's go and see who we think that's Bin Laden. I
Do you
don't
want
know.
to talk about what are the 5-step strategy, what it is that the problem would be with?
The 5-step strategy is to provoke the U.S., which they already have done, into going to war, and then use the local militias and rebel groups to fight, which would be the UMA, which we wouldn't have to worry about. Then they would expand the war into other countries. Then they would use Al-Qaeda to kind of instill into different governments, so they can use to attack the U.S. even more with different countries. And then the U.S. economy, they would have collapsed by 2020 by having us fight so much. And then the global economy will fall with it, and then they will install the Wahhabi Caliphate. How do you say that?
I'm not sure exactly how you say it, but yeah, the Caliphate is how I believe it's pronounced, but what is it?
And that's... I'm not
Okay. So the general idea that they're going to try and install and have it so they're able to take over the United States by 2020. They're able to make us collapse. Go ahead.
This is not off topic, but it's not down. How did they find out the 5-step plan?
The 5-step plan has actually been written by a defected terrorist. When I looked on Wikipedia, I researched a guy who was part of the group, and he pretty much broke down what their plans were, what steps they thought would work best. I'm not sure why he defected. He probably got tired of killing people. I don't know. That'd be my best guess, but I don't know exactly why he defected. So, real quick, Madam Secretary.
I believe that if we station troops in those countries, that would create a war, obviously, because that's one of the reasons why they have terrorist attacks, because they feel intimidating. Like, it's not the whole country, so why would we intimidate the whole country to get the troops? That would work.
Go ahead, we gotta move on to one of our last couple groups here.
We weren't going to move troops into Saudi Arabia and Yemen. Just put more military pressure around there, not directly intimidating them, but making sure that they actually do crack down on the Al Qaeda forces that are in their countries.
Not move in, but have them stationed near, so it goes, hey, listen, we have this threat here. We might be able to scare them a little bit.
Media has a quick
Go on,
question.
media.
Wouldn't it be a repeat of what happened with the U.S. and Russia with the Cold War, and now we basically was thinking we were going to go into another World War III?
Yeah, so you have that threat. So what do you think about that, Madam President? Do you think that could be a possible situation? Want to address the press?
Well, let's just go back real quick.
Okay.
I think that the people with the Yemenis and Saudi Arabian people, like, putting pressure versus like invading, I think to them is also kind of the same. So I worry about just like sending troops either like whatever our supposed goal is. I feel like to them it might mean something different. But at the same time, I think we need to act because we don't want them to be.
Real quick, we have Homeland Security. What do you think should be done, Homeland Security?
I'm Homeland Security, and we are Janet and Napolitano. You have Napolitano. I would just like to say my bad. Sorry.
Homeland Security blew it.
But we're here to fix it. We wanna set up. Okay. We wanna stop all flights leaving San Francisco. We wanna put security around their borders and check and maybe work with the FBI, who has camera footage of the subway, and check everybody who leaves San Francisco. And we also wanna keep check the railroads and stuff, and make sure no one's leaving out any trains that we don't know about. We also want to take the prisoners to a special location, maybe Guantanamo Bay, and question them, see if we can get any information. And we would like to monitor all international phone calls to see if we can get anything.
Madam President, what do you think about these options?
Okay, I feel like this is going a little extreme. We don't want to scare the American people because that's,
Hold on,
stopping
President
all
speaking.
flights and interrogating people and.
I didn't say stopping all flights.
Hold
Just
on.
the ones
Do
leaving.
not speak over the President.
Yeah, yeah. I think that we don't want to just make everyone scared. But I like the idea of.
So, Madam President, what do you think the best course of action is from what you've heard so far?
I think the best course of action, I like what the Secretary of State said, trying to send, not just like send troops, but send people who are skilled and then trying to make peace with the governments of Yemen and Saudi Arabia.
So, pretty much the Secretary of State has it. The Secretary of State has the best ideas. You want to use some of the other ones, but
Yeah.
okay. So, for homework for you guys, for the last part on that sheet, you have to fill out what your group is able to convince the President of. So, the President said a lot about the Secretary of State. So, yes, ma'am.